Welcome to the Employco HR Chat. I'm Rob Wilson. With me is Jason Eisenhut.
Hi, everyone.
Thanks for joining us for this week's HR Chat. So, Jason, a recent Supreme Court decision on the Chevron case has some huge impact, future impact, and I don't think most people realize it because they think, oh, Chevron, it's a gas or oil company. What does that have to do with me?
Right. And the original case, the Chevron case, is 40 years old now. There's been 40 years now of precedent where the courts would give deference to the agencies, whether it's Department of Labor or EEOC or OSHA.
FTC.
Yeah,
right.
all the different government agencies, especially in our world, the employment side. If an agency creates a law or interprets a law or guidance a certain way, as long as the courts, if the Chevron deference was, as long as the courts were to determine, okay, there was ambiguity there, the agency made a reasonable set of guidance or a reasonable rule, we have to defer. Even though if we think as the courts there was a better way to interpret it, we have to give deference, and we can't overrule what the agency says. So now this is a big decision.
Right. So the courts would follow the agencies and not necessarily the law, because the law is passed by Congress, and then the different agencies will implement what they want. So, for example, the Department of Labor's overtime rule is not passed by Congress; it's passed by the DOL.
Yeah, and now because of this, now more and more of these agency interpretations or guidance or rules can either be challenged in court or struck down in court more than they were before.
Right. So before you really had no basis on it, but now if you look at where we're at with this recent ruling, so you've got the Department of Labor's overtime rules, you've got the Department of Labor's new version of independent contractor status. Right. I would imagine on the independent contractor status, you're going to see some pushback from and some lawsuits on that.
Yeah, what makes it even more, so this is probably a little bit more employer friendly, at least it seems like it, because employers can challenge more of these in courts. But what makes it more complicated is if a court in Illinois sides one way and a court in California, you're a multi-state employer, now you've got multi-different states, not that you're the employer suing in more than one state, but you have to monitor lots of different states now. It's not going to be in the next few months, but it could be a matter of years over time where you're going to have to kind of comply with different state interpretations through the courts, where at least before it was agency, but now it gives you a better opportunity as an employer, but it's going to be a hodgepodge of different state laws.
Right, and some of these cases will be on the federal level. Well, look at the FTC. They recently ruled on non-competes, saying that non-competes are no longer allowable. Well, is this going to push that back? I'm sure some business is going to challenge it.
Yep. And it's already in the courts, but yes, this now I think will give the likelihood of being challenged or overturned, or at least an injunction, more likely.
Right, and then on the union side, I would imagine you're going to get some pushback from businesses because the DOL and some of the other agencies have made it easier, more pro-union or union-friendly.
Right.
They may get some pushback.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, so it's most people weren't paying attention. They thought Chevron, it's some gas case, oil case, or whatever. But it's going to have some pretty big impact on at least on our HR world over the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, especially as a lot of these get through all the courts and decisions. Yeah, in the next 4 or 5 years, we're going to see some changes.
So feel free to reach out to us at hr@employco.com if you have any questions or would like more information on. Jason's got a couple of different 2-3 pagers summaries of the case that we can send out. So feel free to reach out to us anytime.
Contacts, we'd love to help.
Great. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.